We have a major injury update with Matas Buzlies and Josh Giddey. We're also going to be talking about some keys for tonight's game against the Indiana Pacers. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and you have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest. And so today we are going to be looking at the injury reports for both teams. We're also going to be looking at some of the key takeaways for tonight's game. And so let's go ahead and start off with the injury reports as we got some key injury updates around the Chicago Bulls. And so this news has just broke out here about a couple hours ago, and it is talking about Matas Buzlies. And so Matas Buzlies, if you were watching that game last night, he was hit in the nose. It was inadvertent. It was going up for a rebound. I think maybe Zach LaVine might have accidentally clipped him in that. But anyhow, it looked pretty bad initially. And the good thing is it is not. It looks like it is a nasal contusion is what Matas Buzlies has been listed with officially. And so what that is when you're looking at a nasal contusion, it is an injury to soft tissue known as a bruised nose. And so, he is, questionable for tonight's game. It is a possibility that we might see him. I don't know if the Bulls are going to throw him out there tonight. I think that Matas Buzlies is the type of player that wants to go out there. And so, there's two things that I think really come out of this injury. First, it's good because it's not as worse as we maybe initially thought when we saw it. But number two, it really sucks because Matas Buzlies, I think, has really been catching his momentum. And you can really see that in the low volume that he's getting, that he is just going to be a very good player, I believe. I think that that's still going to continue as he begins to get even more experience. He gets more stronger. Like I'm starting to see some of the things that, was a struggle for him early on as far as driving to the basket and stuff like that. I can see that he's starting to adjust a little bit more to the physicality. And like I talked about before, he is really turning, I think, a weakness into a strength for him because, there was the wondering when he came out, of G League Ignite, could he really shoot the basketball? And I was like, man, his form doesn't look bad. I think it's just a matter of just reps and then also to confidence. And then you're starting to see that he can definitely knock down the three ball. And so I think that continues once he gets back, if he plays tonight. Definitely super excited if he does, but hopefully he comes back very quickly here for the Chicago Bulls. So that is the number one key update for the Chicago Bulls. Next, this is something that, I've been seeing, and this just popped up, I think, just a couple hours ago, and this centers around Josh Giddey. And so per Chicago, reports here, or official injury reports, that Giddey has actually been downgraded to probable for tonight with some right foot soreness. And so, it looks like that this is something that is going to be precautionary. And I think that the game before he was dealing with maybe a little bit of an ankle going into the game, but yes, he has been downgraded with a little bit of foot soreness. And so I think that it was a tough one for Josh Giddey last night. I think if you were looking at that game and you were able to read maybe some of the lips of Billy Donovan as he was coming off the floor, it didn't look like he was too happy with him after that turnover that he had trying to get the ball down the floor to THT. And then also too, he got a technical in that game too, and it didn't look like Billy Donovan was too happy about that. And so anyhow, hopefully Josh Giddey can go ahead. He can hopefully be healthy and then continue to build his confidence. I think that is the biggest thing for Josh Giddey, is just he's got to continue to build his confidence. And I think that he's got to continue to do the things that he can control, which is get assists, get rebounds, and I think the rest really figures itself out. So he's got to really lock into that. And so hopefully we get a chance to see him tonight. And just going back into the injury report, you do see Zach LaVine is listed on there. I have seen since then that he is probably going to play in tonight's game. I think it is just like a little lower back tightness is what he was officially listed with on ESPN.com. Patrick Williams, he's still out. Talked about him and having his window opening back up next week. It is a long shot that he might get out there for the Philadelphia 76ers game on Sunday. And then I think to note, Lonzo is on the injury report right now, and he's currently a game time decision or questionable. And that's interesting because we know that Lonzo Ball is not going to be playing in back-to-backs, but he sat out against the Spurs and he is listed as questionable. I haven't seen anything else about him as of this time of the recording. So, hopefully we do get a chance to see Lonzo Ball back. Hopefully it's not anything serious. And so I think that is definitely something to monitor. And so as we push forward and we look at the injury report for the Pacers, this I think really tells the story of the Pacers, because the Pacers have really struggled, I think, as a team trying to find the rhythm. You see right now that they have a couple different role players that are going to be out tonight. I think that Andrew Nembhard, he's a game time decision. He's listed into their starting lineup for tonight. But, they have some role players that have been out, and I think that leads us to really the next portion here, which is the team comparison. And, just the Indiana Pacers are not the same team that they have been in the past. This team has really struggled. Last season, I thought that they were going to build off the momentum of having a deep playoff run. Yes, it is early in the season, but, I think that Halliburton has struggled. I think that their offense has really struggled. Defensively, I think that they've struggled. They've just struggled across the board as a team. And for the Chicago Bulls, look, it is no secret that this team can score with the best of them. Offensively, this team has been very good. In fact, I saw a stat today, I believe it's on Bleacher Nation, that 50% or better this team has shot over the last 7 games. They're currently 5th best in three-point shooting at 38.4, and they have the 3rd most attempts per game at 42.8. They had a season high last night of 68 points in the paint. We had a season high as far as points scored at 139. The issue with our team is that we just cannot get stops, and also too, we hurt ourselves with turnovers, and this is something that the Chicago Bulls have just got to get better at. These are things that they've got to continue to clean up. I know it is something that it's probably going to get better as we continue to really fix this roster and get it to the right place, but right now there's a lot of things that this team can clean up, and it comes down to just effort and understanding assignments. And so hopefully we see some more effort tonight on the defensive end. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see them kind of clean up some of the mistakes that they've had with blown assignments and things like that, and continue to show some resistance in the paint. That has really been an issue for the Chicago Bulls. And so that leads me to the next part here, which is the starting lineups, and just looking at both these teams and what we should look for in tonight's game. And so let's start with Vooch, because Vooch has been spectacular, really. I think that Vooch has just looked like an entirely different player at this point in time. And I mean, the things that Vooch has done is just, it's phenomenal. The way he's shooting the basketball, the way he is taking care of business in the paint, the way that, he is making it easy for this team to go out there and be able to really work off of him and get some easy points and layups that way. Like, Vooch has done it all. And I love the fact that Vooch continues to play with confidence out there. And so I want to see some more of that in tonight's game. Hopefully we see Vooch continue to keep rolling. And then next up was Zach LaVine, Zach LaVine has done a terrific job. I think that he's doing a great job as far as just playing off of others. And I think that, with what he did last night, he almost had a triple-double. And one of the things that was not talked about, I think he got, when he got his 9 assists, I think he moved to 13th in the franchise history for the Chicago Bulls. So that is something that should be noted with Zach LaVine, just the fact that he's going out there and being a playmaker. And so hopefully we see some more of that tonight. He seems to be doing that this season and showing that, he can play off of others. Coby White, now they have him as a projected starter. He is questionable for tonight. Remember, he had that right ankle that kept him out of yesterday's game, so he might be out. And then with Ayo Dosunmu, he got his first triple-double with the Chicago Bulls. And the Chicago Bulls made history last night because of that, because that's the first time since 1993 we had back-to-back triple-doubles out there. And so, kudos to Ayo. I think that Ayo continues to heat up. And I think that Ayo is really, he's starting to make, a lot of people wonder, should he be in the starting lineup? Because, I said this in the last game that it seems to be that he's heating up, and he seems to be a lot more comfortable in the starting lineup than he has been off the bench this year. And so hopefully he can continue to build upon the momentum. Just talked about Josh Giddey and his confidence. He needs to get some more of that. Hopefully he can shake off that performance from last night and just really get back to where he was when he got that triple-double, and just continue to keep putting games together here. And so lastly, just with the bench, I think that is going to be important tonight because we could have some players that maybe can't go as much tonight with some nagging injuries and things like that. I think that this is going to be the time where Billy Donovan is going to have to go ahead and trust the rotation a little bit more. And in fact, one of the players that comes to mind for me, if Matas Buzlies is not there tonight, it's going to be THT. And this was an interesting fact that is out there. It was thrown out there on CHGO's post-game show last night, and I guess it was from the Chicago Bulls PR staff, that THT has joined Michael Jordan with scoring 80 points, at least 80 points in 100 minutes over a 6-game span. And so, look, THT has been an absolute bucket getter. I think I put that down every time for him, that, he just gets buckets out there. And so we might need that tonight, especially if we are shorthanded. So I'd like to see some more of THT. I think we're seeing that Julian Phillips and Dalen Terry continue to take steps as they get minutes out there. So I want to see some more of them tonight. And so those are a couple of things that I'm looking forward into tonight's game, and the Chicago Bulls need to get this one. So let me know in the comments what you think about this recent news around these injuries with Josh Giddey and Matas Buzlies. Are you concerned about that? Then also too, do you think that this is a game? Yes, the Chicago Bulls, they can get this one, because I do think that the Pacers are a team that can be had right now, especially with the struggles that they're having. This is where teams have got to take advantage of that. And if you're the Chicago Bulls, you're coming in. Yes, the Pacers have, they've been to a place you haven't been to before as far as the success that they've had, but this is very much a winnable game, and I think that this is a learning experience for this young Chicago Bulls team. They need to go out there and get these type of wins, so I'd love to hear what you're thinking in the comments. I want to thank everybody out there for liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. It means a lot to us as we try to reach our goal of 5,000 subscribers by the end of the NBA season. I want to let you know about 69.3% of you that watch are not subscribed, so make sure that you go ahead and slam dunk on that subscribe button for us, as it means a lot as we try to reach that goal. And look, even though we have some injuries around this team, and we do have the possibility of Matas Buzlies maybe not playing tonight, especially since he's been building up a lot of momentum, I think that it was terrific to see Billy Donovan use the younger talent here last game. I want to see some more of that, as we need to continue to really prioritize player development as well as winning. So anyway, let me know in the comments. And once more, I'm always saying, go Bulls, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.